Hello, this is Gihan Perera. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, we're already 1 month into the year, and I hope the year started off well for you. I want to talk today about how you measure the success and progress of innovation and change projects, because you might have started off the year with one of these projects in mind, and now you're wondering, how do I measure how well we're going, and what do we do to measure success? And this came up recently because I was working with a group of leaders who've set up an AI project within their organization. Many people have looked at AI, especially in the last year, and will look at it again this year, and this might be true for you as well. And one of the leaders asked me, we're in the middle of this project, we're still pretty early on, how do we measure whether we're doing the right things and whether we're on track? And in fact, how do we measure what success looks like? What are the KPIs that we should be looking to achieve? And it's a really good question that applies not only to AI projects, but to any sort of project that you're doing, which involves some sort of change and innovation that you haven't really done before. See, when you're working on projects and you've got goals where the projects are similar to what you've done before, it's a little bit easier because you can see the path ahead, and based on your past knowledge, you can assess where you are. So you know that in week 3, we're 10% of the way through. In week 4, we're only 11%, so maybe we're falling behind. We know what sort of things we need to do. We know what the outcome's going to look like, so we can measure where we are along the way. Now, all of that falls apart when you've got this new kind of project, which you might be doing for the first time. You don't exactly know what the outcome's going to look like. You've made a rough guess as to how long it's going to take, but you don't really know how far you are and how close you are to the outcome. So what do you do in that situation? Well, what you do in a project like this, whether it's AI or some sort of other innovation or change, is to measure progress, not outcomes. In other words, you measure what you've done since you've started rather than what you've got to go until you end. So these are the sort of questions that you might ask when you're measuring, say you're doing it every week. How much time have we invested in this week? What lessons have we learned that put us in a better position now than we were last week? How many new ideas have we generated? How many new ideas have we tested? How many little mini projects have we started and maybe even failed? How many conversations have we had with real customers about the impact on them? How many outside opinions have we sought? Do you see the sort of things you're asking? Because what you're asking is, what have we done? What progress have we made? Rather than how much is left to go. And there are 2 reasons for doing this. One, you don't actually know how much there is to go because you don't know, this is a new project for you. The second reason is that measuring progress is useful because as you're going through the process, you're learning, you're improving, you're evolving, and that helps you make better plans for the future. So when you're looking at any sort of innovation, change, AI project where you don't exactly know what the path is going to look like, measure progress, not outcomes. If you'd like a really practical way to do that, download the worksheet that I've got for you here, which is all about keeping them on track or keeping us on track. And you'll get some ideas for the sort of questions that you might ask and the way that you can measure them, the answers to those regularly. I'm sure you'll find it useful. I'll see you in the future.